So we've now almost reached the end of this project, and we've pretty much got a full functioning game which allows you to play with 2 human players, or you can also bring in a computer player if you don't want to use a human player. So that's pretty nice. Now the only thing I want to do next is maybe allow changing of the colors here. So at the moment I've got a predefined color of blue for the background and some rather strange brown colors for the board. So you may not be a particular fan of these colors, and not at all surprised if that's the case. I'm not known for my designing skills, certainly. So what I'm going to do is show you how to easily change the colors in our CSS. So in our game CSS file, we've got the colors defined in a normal way in our CSS. So we've got, for example, where's the body? The top here. The body's got a lovely shade of cornflower blue. So you could just go through the CSS and change the colors if you want to. However, there's quite a few places where you'll need to make the changes for the colors. So it may be a little bit annoying to have to go through if you want to just experiment with some colors or maybe make up some themes. And so in this video, what I'm going to do is I want to show you a very easy and quick way of being able to define the colors at the top of the file, and then you can simply set them using the CSS variable feature. And you might not be aware of that feature, so let's see how that works in this video. Okay, let's go. So to use the CSS variables, you need to create a root section at the top with a colon at the front, like this. So you can see it coming up in the IntelliSense here. And then you need to create a curly brace, and then you need to specify the section with 2 curly braces. Open curly brace and close curly brace, like this. Now we need to define the variables. So these are custom variables that are not currently built into CSS. So to define a custom variable, we need to give it 2 hyphens like this. You can see in IntelliSense here that there are a number of variables built into CSS and they all start with a single hyphen. For custom variables, we need to give it the 2 hyphens like this. And now we can just give it the name that we want. It can be any name you like, maybe banana or pear, but you're probably going to choose something more appropriate. So for example, if we want to change the color of our background color here, we can have a variable called background color. And then we can give it the actual value that we want. So I'm going to set it to a default of cornflower blue, which is the color that we've currently got. And then to use the actual variable, we simply remove the existing value from the CSS here, use the var method that's built into CSS, and then give it the name of our custom variable. Our custom variable being hyphen hyphen and then background color. And you can see it coming up in the IntelliSense here. And that's pretty much it. So of course we can set up some more variables, maybe for example where we've got the panel down here. So let's have hyphen hyphen panel background color, and then we're going to set that to the color that I've currently got, which is light golden rod yellow. And let's do a few more variables. Panel border color, and that's currently burly wood. And let's also set the colors for the board itself. So the board itself is a lovely shade of bisque, and the border's a lovely shade of burly wood. So let's define those. Let's do board background color, and that was bisque. And the border color is the beautiful shade of burly wood. Like this, and of course we have to make sure we actually use it, otherwise the whole thing is a bit pointless. So where we've got panel here, let's use var, and that is panel background color. And then the one below is var hyphen hyphen panel border color. And our game board itself, var hyphen hyphen board background color, and var hyphen hyphen board border color. Okay, if we save that, we shouldn't see any changes to our application. It should look exactly the same as it is, and it is already. Let's give it a quick refresh, and the colors are the same. So when we go to application, we shouldn't see any differences at all from what we've seen previously. But of course, we can now change the colors. So let's change the cornflower blue to maybe something just like blue. And let's change the board color from bisque to a lovely shade of garish red. If that give that a refresh, you can see it's very bright and very red and very blue. But you get the idea of what you can do here. You might also want to change, for example, the player colors. So rather than having red and blue, which I think they are at the moment, red and blue, we can of course define some colors for the player. So let's just paste these guys in like that. So that's my colors I've picked at the moment, but you could also change maybe the color from red or from green to a lovely shade of orange. And let's go down to where we've defined the players down here and update it to use the variables. So that is var, that is player no player, and this one is var hyphen hyphen player player 1. And of course we do the same thing for player 2. So var hyphen hyphen player player 2. Give that a save. And we have updated the colors. Lovely. Of course, it's not just colors you could change. You could maybe change the width of the borders, or you could change the positions. Pretty much anything you want to change in CSS, you can use as a variable at the top here. So you can do quite a lot of things with it. There's pretty much no limits on what you can do with it. You can change anything you fancy, really. So I'm just going to set up a few more variables, and I think you pretty much got the idea of this. Okay, that is pretty much how CSS variables work, and I just wanted to show you a nice and easy way of being able to change the colors, all those aspects of CSS if you wanted to. Okay, let's go on to the next lesson.